Like last week, I'm going to walk through an imaginative prayer that is from Jared Patrick Boyd's book, Imaginative Prayer, a year-long guide for your child's spiritual formation. For now, let's go ahead and get comfortable, take a couple deep breaths, and close our eyes. God, I pray that you'll open our hearts and our minds to see you clearly. Let our imaginations run freely and let us listen to your Spirit to see and to hear what you want us to see and hear today. All right. Imagine with me that we get to escape away from to a world where we don't have to be isolated or social distancing anymore. Instead, it is a beautiful day and you are on a walk with some friends, lots and lots of friends, 100 friends, actually. There are 100 of you all walking through the countryside, over hills, crossing streams. You're on a nature hike, someplace in the wilderness. Imagine that you feel very safe. You're surrounded by a group of safe people. You aren't really worried about where you're headed right now. Somebody is leading you, and you're following the crowd as it walks through a grassy field. There doesn't seem to be a trail to follow. Next, imagine you spot something colorful at the edge of the forest. It looks like a bright spot in the middle of the brown trees and green leaves. You want to take a closer look to see what the bright and colorful spot might be. It isn't very far away from everyone else, so you leave the crowd of friends just for a moment to take a closer look at what you've discovered. You're walking now all by yourself as you head toward the edge of the forest. You can still hear the others chatting as you continue toward the bright spot in the trees. However, as you walk, you discover that bright spot is much farther away than you had thought. You arrive now at the edge of the forest. The bright spot is nothing more than an old orange hunter's hat. It's bright orange, but it was left behind by someone a long time ago. You notice that it's stuck on the edge of a branch. It looks old and worn out, so you leave it where you find it. As you turn back to join your friends, you notice they're pretty far off in the valley. You can see them turning a corner off in the distance, and they head into the forest. You begin to run as fast as you can in order to catch up. But you realize you're in a bit of trouble as you watch the last one head into the forest. You continue to run fast to try to catch up, but by the time you reach the place where they entered the forest, they're nowhere to be found. You're alone. You're lost. Imagine as you stand here, all alone at the edge of the forest, you begin listening for voices. Though you can't see your friends, you wonder if maybe if you're really quiet and listen hard enough, perhaps you will hear them. So you wait. You don't hear anything, and so you begin to go down a path through the forest. You notice it's getting darker, and the wind starts to pick up. It's also getting colder. The sun is setting. You're alone. You are lost. And then, to make matters worse, it begins to rain. You find some shelter under a hemlock tree, and you begin to wonder, how could this happen? How could you have gotten lost? There are 99 others somewhere in the forest, and you are the only one who's lost. You are the only one who's alone. What does it feel like to be alone and lost? Imagine what it would be like to be cold, wet, and in the dark. You begin to shiver, and as you reach for some leaves to cover you up, suddenly you hear a gentle voice calling out your name. You crawl quickly from underneath the tree to look around for the voice. Imagine looking up to find that it is Jesus. He wraps a blanket around you to keep you warm, and you walk through the woods and come out into an open clearing where the whole group is standing. They had been looking for you all along. They noticed that you were missing, and they stopped walking in order to look for you. What does it feel like to be noticed? To be looked for? To be found? You can open your eyes. What does it feel like to be the one that Jesus came looking for? God loves you so dearly. He loves you so much that when you're lost, He will come looking for you. Thank you for courageously joining me on my imaginative journey this morning. I hope you have a great week. You are loved.